Cruise news time, and well, I hope you're ready for some craziness today. I've got a story about a cruise that's been canceled because of food and beverage services. And it's a major cancellation. Very weird story. Also, migrants in New York City, they're pushing back against the plan to house them in a cruise terminal. They don't like it. We also have the story of a very big loyalty perk for Royal Caribbean and celebrity cruisers going away. And well, it always seems to be Carnival, right? Carnival has done it again. Wait until you hear this story. Cruise news and my views. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Lido, Loca. I'm your host, Tony, here with the latest cruise news and views for your face, for your Tuesday. Welcome to Tuesday, everybody. Cruise news story number one. There is a cruise that has been canceled over food and beverage service issues. The cruise that is being canceled was supposed to start today, a cruise on the Marella Discovery 2 out of Montego Bay, Jamaica, and it appears to be a technical issue with the food and beverage service on board that cruise ship. Something happened toward the end of the previous cruise with food and bev, and it's not something they can fix, and it's going to impact their food and beverage service in a way that they can't even have a cruise. Now, the challenge is there's several people on board that are part of back-to-back cruises. The solid thing is that Marella has chartered a private aircraft to fly people back to where they came from. They say, unfortunately, though, they're not going to be returning everybody to the airport that they departed from. It's a wild thing. The guests that are on Marella Discovery 2, they have the option of being flown back to where they came from on a chartered vessel, or they can just ride it out and stay a week in Jamaica, find accommodations in Jamaica, and then take their regular travel home. They didn't get really specific about what's going on with the food and beverage service. I've read some speculation. Maybe it's, who knows? Maybe it's refrigeration. Maybe it's something with the stoves. Whatever it is, it's impacting them in a way that they will not be able to do food and beverage service until they get this thing repaired. Got to add that to the list. I mean, we've seen a lot of reasons for cruises to get canceled. I don't think I've ever seen a cruise get canceled over food and beverage service. Sorry for the folks that got canceled. Of course, Marella's going to take care of these folks, and that's a good thing. But yeah, that would be a weird one. I don't know. What's the weirdest reason you've ever had a cruise canceled? I think the weirdest reason I've ever had a cruise canceled was just unexpected dry dock. I mean, I've seen cruises get canceled for charter, but I think for us, just out of the blue, one of our early cruises, they notified us they were going to do improvements, and our whole cruise got canceled. What's your weirdest cruise cancellation? Leave a comment below. Now, before I get into cruise news story number two, let me just give you a little bit of a life update. Of course, I am here on the NCL Breakaway, part of the Vloggers Extravaganza cruise, a cruise that we're hosting. We've got about 900 guests here with us, and we're having a blast. This is a group cruise unlike any other group cruise I've been a part of. We're hosting it with 3 other YouTube channels, and we've had some really interesting things like panels on how to do YouTube, panels on how to be a travel agent. We've had 2 really great question and answer panels. We've had cigars under the stars, all kinds of meetups. This has been a really good time, and we're only a few days into the cruise. We still have a few more days left to go, and that came after one night in New Orleans for me. Whew, let me tell you what, I was unprepared for New Orleans. We had a weird week anyways. Thanks everybody for the continued thoughts and prayers for Jenny B and the things that are going on at home with the family. She is doing well. She sends her regards. But yeah, I landed in New Orleans just knowing that I was going to be spending the night there, and I got out on the streets, went to Bourbon Street, had dinner with the other creators, and it's a wild scene, y'all. I felt like an old man. Like I was on Bourbon Street for like 25 minutes, and I was like, yep, I gotta go back to the hotel. I can't hang. Have you ever been to New Orleans? That was kind of a trip. But just a quick update, everything is going good here on the cruise. Everything is going okay at home as well as it could be. And so again, a big thanks to everybody out there for thinking about us. Cruise news story number 2, there's some challenges being faced in New York City as the officials there wanted to start moving some of the migrants in the city from hotels into the Brooklyn Cruise Terminal to be used as a center for migrant relief. The terminal is supposed to house about 1,000 men, provide basic needs and services, and while they started moving people out of the hotels into the migrant center, and the people that got moved in there, they left. They said, we don't want to stay here, we want to go back to the hotels. There's a whole bunch of advocacy groups out there saying that the conditions in the terminal are not good. It's not really set up to do this kind of housing. And then again, the administration there in New York's just doing everything that they can to deal with their problem. So it's going to be interesting. People refusing to go into the cruise terminal. Yeah, we'll continue to watch it, but it sounds like a mess. That's what I'm trying to say. It sounds like a mess. I don't know if there's going to be any good solutions there, but yeah, interesting cruise story. We'll keep an eye on it. Cruise news story number 3, Royal Caribbean and celebrity cruisers are losing a perk which allowed them to have their loyalty status matched on Azamara Cruise Line. This perk was a reciprocal loyalty match that happened between those 3 companies, Celebrity, Royal Caribbean International, and Azamara. And honestly, the reason that perk was even in place is there was a time where Azamara was part of the Royal Caribbean group, part of the Royal Caribbean family. 2 years ago, Royal Caribbean sold Azamara off to Sycamore Partners, and so they are no longer in the fold. So I guess the good thing is that for the last couple years, if you were someone who sailed Celebrity, Royal Caribbean, Azamara, you would have been able to get loyalty match, but that is now no longer the case. The cool thing is the loyalty match is still in place between Celebrity Cruise Line and Royal Caribbean International. And so if you're loyal to Royal, you put in the time, you got the loyalty status there, you can still take that over to Celebrity to get yourself some perks and try a different cruise line. I don't personally know anybody who's ever sailed on Azamara. Which way do you say it? Azamara? I'm sure there's some folks out there, some of you guys out there that have. Can you give me your impression of Azamara, or maybe tell me how to say it? And any Royal Caribbean celebrity cruisers out there bummed out by this, or is this kind of a non-event? Unless there's just a lot of people doing it, I think it's a non-event. But it is good to note, get the word out there just in case anybody is impacted. Leave a comment below. Now, unsurprisingly, Carnival Cruise Line has done it again. Carnival always at the forefront of doing things that we talk about, and so I'm going to tell you about that. But first, before I get there, let me quickly invite you to subscribe. If you like staying up to date with everything that's going on in cruising, please consider subscribing with the notification bell on. That way you don't miss out on any of these episodes. Thank ye in advance. All right, what did Carnival do? Well, they broke their record in 2022 for their St. Jude donations. One of the things that makes Carnival endearing to myself and others is their commitment to raising money for St. Jude. And in 2022, throughout their cruise ships, they raised $3.5 million for St. Jude. What a fantastic number for people essentially out there on vacation with vacation thoughts in mind, moving away from those thoughts for a moment to be charitable. Anybody who gave to St. Jude last year, congratulations and thank you. Good job. What can I say, Carnival Cruise Line? You are one of the most loved and hated cruise lines at the same time. I do appreciate how you guys just, push the haters off your shoulder and keep doing good things like raising money for St. Jude. Way to go, Carnival Cruise Line. Keep it up. How about that? Let me ask you this. Did you enjoy the show today? If you did, you can show your support by hitting the like button. If you did not enjoy the show, you could hit the dislike button. But either way, if you don't do one of those things, I will be forced to punish you, and your punishment will be this. When you wake up tomorrow, you will just be a miserable person who has nothing positive to say about anything, and you will just wallow in your misery with people that are also miserable. Somebody's already gotten that punishment because I've seen it in life, and I feel nothing but sadness for those people. So you can avoid that by hitting the like button. Do that. This is Tony for Lido Loca, and until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.